Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs and today I have these really pretty simple cards to share with you, so let's jump right in. I am going to start by cutting down my cardstock. You guys know I generally have my bases pre-made. I like to sit in front of the TV in the evening and just cut a whole bunch of them and have them on hand. But I actually ran out, so I'm going to show you how I cut mine down and score them just in case you're new to card making and you haven't seen it before. Now, I am Canadian, so my standard cardstock is North American, which is 8.5 by 11. I know European sizes are different than that, so keep in mind what size that works for you. But when scored, my card base will be 4.25 by 5.5. That is the standard greeting card size in North America. And then for my black mat, I'm going to trim it down to be about 1/4 of an inch smaller than my scored card base, and my watercolor cardstock will be cut down to be about 1/4 of an inch smaller than my A2 base. So like I said, black mat is 1/8 of an inch smaller and the watercolor is 1/4 of an inch smaller. So hopefully that kind of helps you get the idea. I will show you my layers here in a moment. Now, the watercolor cardstock that I use actually comes in a larger size. I think it's an A4 sheet. So it just ends up being slightly too big to fit in the trimmer properly. However, honestly, I just have it stick over the edge and I use the top ruler to align it and make sure that everything's cut straight. It works really well for me and I just kind of do this, but you could use a larger trimmer if you needed to, like a 12 by 12 trimmer, and you'd get the same thing. So I'm just going to score my card bases. I prefer a side fold card. That is just generally my preference. If you wanted to top fold, you would just cut the cardstock on the long edge instead of the short edge in the center. That's really the only difference. I don't do that because I would have to bust out my 12-inch trimmer to cut a card for that size. And I like my smaller trimmer, so I tend towards that direction. But there is no wrong way here. And honestly, you can buy pre-made bases if you'd rather do that. I make all of my own just because I find it easier, but you could if that is your preference. Now I'm going to show you my layers so you can see how they kind of are slightly thinner than each one, and it just gives me this really nice thin border. Now recently in a mixed media journal video that Vicky Papineau put up, I believe it was on her Instagram, she used a jelly plate, and I have not busted out my jelly plates in forever. So I was so inspired when I saw her she used the long rectangle one, I believe. I thought this fun little circle one would make such a great pop of color in a card design. So I was super inspired and had to go and make a card set right away that is incredibly simple. If you don't have a jelly plate, you could use an acrylic block. You just don't quite get the same movement of the colors across the surface, but it would still work. So if that's your preference, you could ink smush as well if you wanted to do that. There's no wrong here. Whatever you have on hand, bust it out and give it a try. I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I just love the jelly plate's movement of color. I think it's really fun. So I'm going to use 3 colors for each circle. So for my pinks, I used Kitsch Flamingo, Picked Raspberry, and Festive Berries. Yellows was Squeezed Lemonade, Mustard Seed, and Spiced Marmalade. For my blues, I used Salvaged Patina, Peacock Feathers, and Uncharted Mariner. And then for the purples, I used Milled Lavender, Seedless Preserves, and Villainous Potion. And as always, everything I use is linked and listed down below in the description. You can go and check it out. They are affiliate links, just so you know. So if you do click on a link and you purchase something, I do get a small commission at no extra charge. So I am using watercolor cardstock for this just because it takes ink a little bit better than any other paper, depending of course on what you're using, and because I love the texture, I think it just adds something really interesting in the background. So I'm going to add all of my colors, and I chose Distress inks for this for a couple of reasons. The inks are more translucent, so you get a more vibrant color. The oxides are a lot more opaque, so you get more of a chalky finish to them, but also the mini inks just make it easier to stamp. I don't own the mini Distress oxides. I own them all in the full size because that was quite recent when they came out in the minis, and I don't need 2 sets. And then I own all of the inks in the mini size. So that's just I jump between them. I have quite often as to whichever my project thinks would be better for it. And then I used a flower from the Tim Holtz French Garden stamp set. This is the same set I used on a card last week. It was one where I used the hexagon dies and I cut it into different pieces. And I just think the florals in this are stunning. And with that really beautiful pop of color in the background, they don't really need anything else. These are very simple cards to make. You could easily mass produce so many of these and have a really great set of cards on hand. Because the paper is so textured, being that watercolor paper, I do need to stamp the floral a couple of times to get it to be as vibrant as I would like it to be. But other than that, I mean, that is also why I'm using my Misti. Ideally, you have a stamping platform to make sure you're stamping in the exact same spot every time. But other than that, like, these cards would be super easy to make. I'm going to use a sentiment that just says thanks, but you could make them birthday cards. You could make them, hello, just thinking of you, saying hello, something inspirational. You could really alter these to be anything that you need them to be. But this little scripty thanks is so pretty, and I think it's just delicate and goes beautifully with this card design, and it's just such a simple yet stunning design. Another thing you could do, if you're if you use watercolors, you could absolutely just watercolor the circle. Use a die to draw the circle. I've done this in the past, and then do your best to kind of try to stay within it. Although honestly, it doesn't matter if you don't get a perfect circle. It really just, we're trying to get like a beautiful, bold bit of color. So if your circle's not perfectly circle, it doesn't matter. You're just trying to create something that makes you smile, makes you happy, and that you can hopefully bring some joy to somebody else who receives it. I send a lot of my cards to my pen pals. I sell them at markets. I give them to friends, family. So the ideal is that hopefully you find enjoyment creating it, and then you kind of share that joy by giving it as well. So definitely something to hopefully bring a smile to your face. But I had a lot of fun making these, and this is pretty much the whole of the card design. It was really quick and simple to make. It brings a smile to my face, and it was just a great time. So hopefully you guys find some inspiration in these cards. Now I'm going to layer them up. I do just use my Nuvo Deluxe glue. That is my favorite liquid glue, has been my favorite for a very long time. I find it is the least moisture holding glue, so I don't have any problem with warping. You don't see it through things when I adhere them. But I also use very thick cardstocks. The watercolor alone, I believe, is 100-pound watercolor. The black matte is a thicker cardstock. My base is 120 pounds. So do keep that in mind. If you use a thinner paper, you may see some glue lines through it. So just, that would be with all liquid glues though. So in that case, I would probably use a tape adhesive. But yeah, so that's kind of the card design coming together. We're going to adhere them onto the bases now. I have not been doing anything on the inside of my cards. I was trying to do that quite a bit. And if you wanted to, you could absolutely stamp the floral on the inside. You could take the other floral. There's two that are kind of this rose. As I said, I used the other one last week on a different card design. And you could stamp the other one on the inside and it would look really pretty, but I just left them white. I've just been trying to create anything and everything that just makes me smile this month. If you guys don't know, I kind of talked about it a bit in other videos that I just struggle with seasonal depression in the winter. So just sitting down and creating is phenomenal. Now I did get this one a little bit off center, so I just lifted it up. It wasn't a big deal because the layer is so thin. There's no problem with me lifting it up and having the black paper rip a little bit because you can't see it. So it doesn't matter really that I had to do that. I do try really hard to get them centered, but of course I eyeball everything. And if you don't want that to be a problem, you could just leave the black mat the whole size of the front, and then you wouldn't have to worry about trying to center it. So whatever works the best for you is kind of the goal here. But I think these cards turned out stunning and I had fun making them. So I know I said that before, but sometimes that's just what you need in a day, something that you sit down and it's simple and it makes you smile because it's vibrant colors and it's quick to make and you just have fun. And hopefully you guys are having fun when you create as well. I think sometimes we get in the mentality, especially for me, because I do this as a job, that creating becomes a bit tedious, and I'm trying really hard not to be in that mindset. I love creating. It brings me so much joy, and I don't want to lose that. So I try really hard to find different techniques and different ways to just create something that makes me smile and I have fun doing. So hopefully that's true for you as well. And then I did splatter on just a little bit of Perfect Pearls just because I think it adds something a little bit extra to the design. I love it. It's just so subtle but beautiful. You'll see me tip it in the light. And as, like I said, everything I used is down in the description. I do get a lot of questions that'll ask specifically for, say, Perfect Pearls. It is linked in the description. So check that out if you're looking for it. And then I'm just going to hold them up in the light so you can view all of the beautiful detail going on here. I did add some gems. You guys know I love embellishments, a little bit of sparkle, but you could leave them off and this would still be a beautiful card set. And what a cool gift too. If you had a friend that needed some cards, maybe they don't make their own, but they enjoy sending them, this would be a really fun gift to give somebody as well. So keep that in mind. But that is the cards I created for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday. Thank you so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.